Hey guys, in this video I'll be introducing you to Sharesight, a website that allows you to track your investments in real time to see where your returns are really coming from. Whether you are just getting started on your stock investing journey or you've been in the game for some time, Sharesight will be a great aid that allows you to forget about the spreadsheets altogether and let them do the hard work for you. Make sure you watch to the end of this video as I have an awesome sign up offer with Sharesight and will show you everything they offer to help you on your investing journey. If you are new to my channel, I post a lot of content in the personal finance and investing space. Make sure to subscribe down below to see more content just like this in this space. Sharesight was founded back in 2006 by a father and son based in Wellington. They grew sick of tracking investment returns through spreadsheets, thinking there had to be a better way. That's when they decided to create Sharesight, a powerful tool that has amassed a huge following not only in Australasia, but globally. Today, they have over 300,000 customers around the world, track over 240,000 investments on over 50 global stock and crypto exchanges, and even have automatic feeds from over 180 brokers, such as Sharesight, so literally all of the hard work is done by them for you. So let's take a look at their website. So here we have the landing page of the Sharesight website for a new portfolio I want to track. At the top right of the page, you can see a drop down of your portfolios. For this video, I'll be showing you the YouTube test one. Starting fresh, we need to load in our investments. You have three options to do this. First, you can manually load your trades. If you have a small portfolio, or perhaps made just a couple trades, this is a good place to start. Second, you can connect your broker directly into Sharesight, meaning any time you buy or sell an investment, Sharesight will be informed, and it will be reflected on the website. In New Zealand, you have all of the big players represented, such as Sharesight, Hatch, Stake, and Tiger. In Australia, you have CommSec, Perla, and Superhero. And globally, you have the Robinhoods, Moomoo, Interactive Brokers, among many others. And the third option you have is to upload a CSV file with all of your trades. Most brokers will allow you to easily download this from their website. If I use Sharesight as a simple example, you can find this by simply going into your account, then generate reports, select your time horizon, and then select your transaction history. Once generated, you can load the file in. Sharesight will try to identify the fields, which they've done here correctly, and once checked, you can then start the import. Going back to the portfolio, we can now see the imported trades. At the top right, you can see my portfolio has a current value of $370.42. As we move down, we can see a dynamic chart. The first drop down allows us to change the time horizon. For example, if we wanted to see how our portfolio has changed over a week, a month, or since we bought the shares. The second is how the information is shown as a stacked line, a simple line, or periodic columns. And the third allows us to group our investments, which can be done by market, currency, sector, a whole range of items. This can be useful to see graphically what factors contributed towards your returns. For example, did the US stocks go up while the New Zealand ones went down? Did the NASDAQ investments outperform the ASX ones? Did your dividends make up most of your gains? Or perhaps most of your returns have come from currency fluctuations. These types of calculations are very tough in Excel, as anyone using spreadsheets will tell you. As we scroll down, we can see the numbers behind the chart, which will be extremely useful. We also see a listing of all of our investment holdings and the data behind our returns on each of the investments specifically. As you can see on this demo portfolio, I've made an overall return of $2.72. Naturally, I'd think the shares themselves went up. In reality, however, these stocks weren't great performers at all, losing nearly $10 and making back just $1.72 in dividends. The reason my portfolio held up is largely due to currency gains of nearly $11 generated from investing overseas, as the New Zealand dollar has depreciated relative to the US dollar. If we click into Apple, we'll see our trading details. Again, we start with a chart which can either show the stock price over time or the value of our investment in Apple. The dollar sign shows when we received a dividend and how much it was. We also have the option of adding a benchmark such as the S&P 500 to compare our performance. As you can see, over the past 3 months, I'd have been better off investing in the S&P 500. Scrolling down, we can see when we bought and sold Apple stock and when they've paid a dividend. The Sharesight software is extremely smart in that it already knows when Apple might have had some unusual activity, such as share splits or dividends. On the right hand side, when we first input trade data, it will ask us to confirm these amounts as they will contribute to our returns. Apple paid a dividend on the 17th of August, and yes, for such a small holding, it came to just 3 cents. Scrolling down, we can see a range of data. This includes our average purchase price, information about the holding, we can upload files, save comments, and read up on the news about the stock. So overall, you get a really granular insight into your portfolio. Going back to the overview screen, we can add new holdings. This is the same as the first option we saw when we accessed the site. As we covered earlier, Sharesight has over 240,000 investments featured. For example, we could start simple and look for Apple stock. As you can see, That's pretty easy. What about some New Zealand ETFs like the SmartShares FNZ fund? Yep, that's there too. What about a fund that isn't an ETF and isn't traded on a stock exchange like a kernel fund? Yep, that's there too. My Milford Active Growth Kiwisaver fund? Yep, that's also there. And lastly, let's have a look at one of the cryptocurrencies such as Cardano. And as you can see, that is there too. So as you can see, they have nearly every investment featured. If we type in Manawa for Manawa Energy, even fixed term bonds appear. Sorting through that, we can find the power company stock itself. As you can see on the screen, we have the current stock price information. We can type in the date we bought some stock, the quantity of shares, let's say is 10, and the current price of $4.69 and a brokerage fee of $1. After we've done that, we can then save the trade. Scrolling down through our portfolio, we can see Manawa Energy has now made it into that Sharesight portfolio. So manual trades are very easy to add. If you want to screen for stocks to buy, you can do that through the share checker. Simply select the exchange the stock is on, type in the name, such as Rio Tinto, and up will appear a comprehensive view of how it has performed over time. As you can see, investing in Rio Tinto over the past 10 years would have generated an average return of about 10% a year, which isn't bad at all. Roughly 50-50 between capital gains and dividends. This here is a great feature of Sharesight. Jumping out of there, let's now get into the real powerhouse features that Sharesight has to offer under reports. As you can see here, you have lots of reports and insights to draw from. The first is performance, which shows similar information to the home screen. We can easily export this to Google Drive, PDF, or CSV if we wish. Going back, one report I especially like is future income. This shows me, over the next year, any dividends that are on their way. As you can see, on October 31st, I will receive a 56-cent dividend from SPY, which is an S&P 500 index fund. So if you have lots of holdings, this helps you track when you'll receive your dividend payments. Another great view is diversity, which shows the composition of your portfolio. As you can see, most of my money is in the index fund. After that are the electric utilities such as Infratil and Manawa, and so forth. Scrolling down, we can see the holdings represented. We can also split this by currency, markets, countries, among several others. You can even create your own groupings if there is a unique view you want to see. If you follow the core satellite strategy, perhaps you want to split this out. A few other alternatives could be growth versus value stocks, a dividend versus growth portfolio. There's a lot of things you can explore by using this. A new feature that Sharesight has recently introduced is their exposure report, which solves an age-old issue in the investing space. The only broker in New Zealand that does a good job of this is Kernel, but the others are lacking, especially in the Kiwisaver space. If we scroll down to Apple, you'll see why this is a great report to generate. As you can see, we actually have a larger ownership stake in Apple than we saw earlier. Looking at Apple stock alone, I directly have $36 invested, making up just over 8% of my portfolio. However, the S&P 500 fund I own also owns some Apple stock, giving me an equivalent ownership of $53 in Apple, and it makes up 13% of my portfolio. This is important to recognize, as through funds, you might actually own more of a company than you'd otherwise know. If you have a few $100,000 in your retirement accounts, you might be surprised looking at this report. Below those, we have a range of tax reports. Those of you that have to file for FIF, or Foreign Investment Fund tax reports each year, you'll understand how much time you'll waste by doing this each year. Through Sharesight, they make the process super easy, especially if they're linked directly to your broker. Simply click here and it loads up your holdings. Click to calculate your peak balance, and if this is over $50,000, you'll need to file with the IRD. You then scroll to the bottom of the page and click Calculate. This will calculate your tax obligations with several export options too. As you can see, my data is not representative, but if you have over $50,000 invested, this can save a lot of time. Going back, we also have a taxable income report that can be useful if you need to lodge this with a tax accountant each year. As you can see, you can select a time horizon and it splits out all of your income generated from your investments. So with the reports out of the way, you can now jump into settings. Depending on the level of your subscription, you can create multiple portfolios. This one is a demo one for this video. You can rename it, change the tax year, and alter your performance calculation methodology. You also have tax settings where you can put in your marginal tax rate and select from a few alert options. Under portfolio sharing, you can also allow third parties such as accountants access to your account. And finally, you have your integration settings. Firstly with interactive brokers, secondly via trade confirmation emails if you prefer updating your positions that way, and through Xero accounting software. To round out the video, we have our account settings. Portfolios allows you to create different portfolios within your account, while custom groups, as we covered earlier, allows you to customize how you want to report on your holdings. Account preferences allows you to change your details and permit two-factor authentication. Custom investments allows you to add unlisted items such as private equity or venture capital investments into your portfolio. So that rounds out most of the settings. Let's now get into what you really came here for. the plans. Sharesight has given me a unique code to share with all of you that offers 4 months free on any annual plan, saving as much as $175. They offer 4 plans. The first option is a free account, which allows you to track up to 10 investments. You also miss out on much of the functionality I've shown in this video today. Moving up to the starter package, costing about $16 a month. You can track up to 30 investments, get better support, and get access to benchmarking and 3 custom groups. The investor package, costing about $25 a month, will be the sweet spot for most people. It allows you to have unlimited investments, 4 portfolios, all portfolio functionality including zero integration, and the 3 reports I showed around future income, diversity, and returns contribution. If you're wanting to have even more portfolios, access to FIF and other advanced tax reporting, and priority customer support, the expert plan coming in at $43 a month will be the one for you. You basically get access to everything I've shown today in this video. So make sure you follow my link to get all of these great discounts. You can always sign up for a trial or start on a monthly subscription before committing for a whole year. If you have any questions about Sharesight, make sure to leave them down below and I'll answer as best as I can. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please make sure to subscribe down below to show your support and see all of my future content in the personal finance and investing space. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to catching you on the next one. Cheers.